Welcome to U.S. Immigration TV. One of the most tragic and heartbreaking situations in immigration is where a person has waited many years for their immigrant visa only to eventually find out that the case has been canceled or terminated because they did not apply for their visa on time. This is under a law called Section 203G. If the case is terminated, they lose their priority date and have to start again at the back of the line. Not only them, but the family members covered under petition. If you are under petition and are just waiting, make sure to watch this video until the end to make sure you are not inadvertently allowing your case to be terminated. And of course, make sure to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel so I know you're out there and are watching. Now, with all the delays and backlogs in connection with waiting for your interview or scheduling the interview, it's easy and natural to sit back and become complacent or bahala na. Once a person's petition has been approved by the USCIS and they receive a notice that it has been transferred to the NVC, kind of like a welcome letter, a person may just sit back and wait until they receive a notice that it's time for them to apply for a visa. In fact, many particular categories can take years. Brothers and sisters, 20, 25 years. Married children, the same. So people just sit back and wait. But even when a priority date is current and the visa is available, some people still do nothing, believing that the next step in their case is for the NVC or the embassy to keep track of the case and remind or notify them that it's time to apply. But there are several strict deadlines that, if not met and the deadline passes, the visa applicant and their family members could be out of luck. So it's not just that you sit back and wait, you have to follow up. For example, the Child Status Protection Act, or CSPA, has a strict 1-year deadline for a child to seek to acquire a visa, starting when the visa first becomes available or the priority date current. If more than 1 year passes and the child has not applied for or pursued his or her visa, they could be out of luck and not be eligible under the CSPA. Another situation is where the NVC sends notification to apply for a visa and the applicant fails to submit their DS-260 or otherwise apply within 1 year. In that case, the entire case could be terminated and everyone under that petition will be out of luck. And when it comes to these types of deadlines, the law basically states it is not the NVC or embassy's duty to remind you or follow up for you. If these deadlines come and go, you may be out of luck. You cannot argue that you were sitting and waiting to hear from the embassy or the NVC and that was the reason you missed the deadline. You are supposed to monitor your own case and priority date. In fact, I've had many CSPA cases where the NVC sent out the notice of visa availability more than 1 year after the visa became available, and it was only then the parents or the child started applying. In that case, a child who was aging out would have missed the 1 year sought to acquire deadline or requirement and would not be eligible under the CSPA, even if their age calculated to be under 21. If you try to argue that you missed the deadline because you were waiting for the NVC to send you notices or they sent the notice after the 1 year deadline, that will not be effective. Your child will be out of luck. In fact, on this channel, I have posted other videos about the CSPA and the sought to acquire requirement. You may want to watch that for more information on that particular topic. But that's why it's important that if you are under petition, you monitor your priority date on the monthly visa bulletin. In fact, I post the priority dates every month in my immigration column, on my website, and on my Facebook page. If your priority date is already current or is close to being current, and you have not heard from either the USCIS or, more importantly, the NVC, you should consult with an attorney to make sure your case is on track, and so that you can already start applying and meet the deadlines. In fact, I just had one case that was terminated under 203G, a consultation. Really sad. What had happened was the petition F4, that's brother or sister of U.S. citizen, and so the waiting time was more than 20 years. But she came to the U.S. and she had filed for adjustment of status, and so she was filing to get her green card in the U.S. In the meantime, they didn't bother notifying the NVC, and so the NVC in the Philippines, or at the U.S. Embassy, wound up terminating the petition for failure to apply for the visa abroad, even though she was applying here in the U.S. And then her adjustment in the U.S. was denied because her petition had been terminated by the NVC. So you can see how important it is not to sit back, not to ignore letters. Don't let them sit, because there are strict deadlines, and if they are missed, you're out of luck. Also, if you were denied for missing a deadline, you should consult with an attorney who can evaluate your case or situation or child's CSPA eligibility, and perhaps the case could be saved or revived. In fact, without guaranteeing results to anybody out there, I have had many cases where the case was terminated under 203G, and we were able to convince the NVC to reinstate the petition, and they were able to get the green card. But the important thing or message I want you to gain from this video is to keep track of your case. And if the priority date is already current, don't just sit back and do nothing. Go see an attorney or make sure you're not missing the deadlines. I hope you have found this video informative and useful to you, or maybe somebody you know. If that case, make sure to like and share, but most importantly, I hope you subscribe to this channel, because what I'm trying to do is put out videos or content taken from everyday situations. These are cases and situations I encounter in my practice. So I figure if people are coming to me, maybe you out there also have the same situation and will find this video helpful and informative. I'm Michael Gurfinkel, and thank you for watching U.S. Immigration TV.